Hello, welcome back to another video. Let's dive into the highlights for me personally of Watches and Wonders 2025. Spoiler alert, not every release lived up to the hype, but let's break it down. And I want to start off with a brand I haven't actually mentioned this entire week, which is Tudor. Now, Tudor's motto is, as we all know, born to dare. But this year, it felt a little like it was born to bore. And the only standout for me this year for Tudor was the Black Bay Pro in the opaline white dial. It's a great looking watch. I think the original dial with the black and that faux patina indices still is my favorite, but the opaline dial is beautiful. The burgundy Black Bay was meh. It's just like a color that doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. I really wanted them to do something with the Tudor Ranger. That is a watch which I feel like is a sleeper hit. I think a couple of just changes to the existing model to make it feel a little bit more premium, because right now it doesn't feel like it's worth the amount that it's sold for. I think it's over £2,000. It doesn't feel like over a £2,000 watch. A couple of different changes to the dial on that watch, the Tudor Ranger I'm talking about. I really hoped that they would have done something with that watch, but they didn't. Overall, pretty disappointing from Tudor, but the Black Bay Pro with the opaline dial was a nice addition to their lineup. Now, of course, going over Rolex, the highlights there, Landwala I'm a fan of. A great caliber there. In-house movement with the high-frequency movement and the new Dynapulse escapement. Lovely that they've got the option to get in platinum, ever rose gold, as well as steel. I think it's exciting, finally, a new watch from Rolex, so I don't want to complain too much about Rolex. I love also the Oyster Perpetuals, the new colors there, the lavender, that buttery yellow, and the pistachio green. I think it's a great addition to the OP lineup. For me, the OP lineup is a great lineup. I love the watches. Just very simple and under the radar, but I guess this is a great opportunity if you're looking for a pop of color. I would love to get hold of one of these OPs. My favorite is the dark green, that classic green Rolex have. That is still my favorite OP, and hopefully we'll get my hands on one of those eventually. Alongside that, the Root Beer GMT Master 2 with that beautiful iron stone dial. I love that dial. I think it goes perfectly with the watch, and it's turned into an absolute epic watch in my opinion. Fully rose gold, so it's an expensive, over £40,000. A watch I'll be getting anytime soon, but nevertheless, a watch that I like. Moving over to now IWC, I've talked about a watch that Brit called the Darth Vader, and I want it to stick because this watch is beautiful and all black, 42mm, fully ceramic, a great movement. Even the case back is slightly tinted. It's just executed perfectly. I love IWC. I love the Ingenieur lineup as well. It's nice that they've refreshed that last year and now adding to that lineup this year. There was a beautiful full gold and black dial version of that watch as well. Again, very expensive. But again, for the ceramic, it was £16,900 if I remember correctly. A great watch. One on my list, one that I'm going to look out for hopefully in the secondary market. Let me know if you're a fan of that watch. The Darth Vader, we're calling it from now on. Moving on to Grand Seiko, you know that I am a huge Grand Seiko fan, and the Spring Drive ultra-fine accuracy has blown my mind. The fact that it's plus or minus 20 seconds a year is unbelievable. I just want it for the fact of that. Let's not even talk about the dials that Grand Seiko create. If you wanted another reason to get a Grand Seiko, you've had it, you've got it, I've got it as well, and I do think it's only a matter of time before I pick the right one and get it. The fact, as I said, it's just absolute innovation, and the fact they've managed to churn out even more accuracy out of the Spring Drive is just a testament to the expertise that Grand Seiko have and the attention to detail as well. So Grand Seiko, well done on that. Great performance in this year's Watches and Wonders. Moving on to another brand now, which I haven't mentioned this week, which is Tag Heuer. One particular watch they've announced this year, which has particularly excited me, is the Formula 1 Solograph. Now, I love the look of the 90s watch. I love the fact they've made it slightly bigger. It's a 38mm diameter now. Loads of different colors on the steel bracelet as well. However, I really feel like they've missed a trick here. I don't know what his name is over at Watson Watches, I should say, but he mentioned that they had a chance to really go up against the Moon Swatches, Omega and Swatch collaboration, by making this a quartz watch. But by making it a solograph and by charging £1,600 for this watch, I really think they missed a trick. Don't get me wrong, people will still buy this watch. But this could have been a watch that would have been bought in its thousands, hundreds of thousands if they had made it at a more, had brought it in at a lower price point. I'm talking hundreds of pounds as opposed to 1,600, which for a plastic watch, by the way, is quite a ridiculous thing to ask for. Now, it's important to recognize that this is a watch with loads of history and heritage attached to it. The cool thing about it is they are releasing different variants of this watch throughout the Formula One season. So it's quite cool to have that to look forward to. But again, £1,600 for a plastic watch. Now, I know that the case is made out of steel, but I'm talking about the rubber straps and all that kind of stuff. A plastic bezel as well. It is slightly overpriced for my liking. But also, one thing that does make me happy about this, it's kind of made the Kith-Heuer collaboration obsolete now. There's no need to want or ever want one of those. I think the audacity of Kith to put their name onto the watch in the first place was a disgrace anyway. So I'm glad that collaboration is now obsolete. I really like this watch. But can I justify spending that money on it? I don't know. I think if they brought it in at the £1,000 mark, £900 to £1,000, could have got my head around it. But either way, I know people obviously are going to buy this watch. There's no doubt about that. I want to make a special shout out to Cartier before I finish the video because they've introduced many different skeleton dials for the Santos Dumont. Also for the black lacquer dial version of the watch as well. I feel that Cartier execute the skeleton dial the best out of the whole industry, and that's including AP and whatnot. But they're finishing just the way they make it look. I think a skeleton dial for the Santos lineup is just perfect. Obviously very expensive, but I would like to think one day I will get one of these. I think they're really tastefully done, and I think it just oozes class. And Cartier, I'm a huge fan of Cartier. Still haven't got a Cartier in the collection, but again, I keep saying this, it's only a matter of time. Let me know in the comments below what your favorites, what your highlights were. What have I missed out? No doubt I've missed out on a lot. I know Zenith came out with a great blue ceramic watch. There's so many watches in Watches and Wonders. It's almost impossible to fit in all of the releases. But those are my favorites. Those are the highlights for me personally. Let me know in the comments what your highlights were. What were your favorite watches from Watches and Wonders? I would love to know. And as usual, if you've enjoyed the video and you're here to the end, I just want to say a huge thank you for getting us to 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. Didn't expect to reach 1,000 subscribers in such a short space of a short amount of time. And as usual, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon for new content. I've been Jag from Jags Watches, and remember, timing is everything. Peace.